A local financial expert is explaining in details why the Bahamas has been downgraded to junk bond status yet again by credit rating agency Moody's in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDon Davis, and this is the Weekend Edition. Thank you so much for tuning in. Chief Financial Officer of Fidelity, Gowan Bowe, says the Bahamas' downgrade to a Ba2 rating does not mean there will not be an opportunity for lending or investment opportunities, but he believes the rate of return could expect to get even higher.
Rating is giving what I'm going to call a credibility to government and its ability to repay. That's really what the ratings are. Now, I'll be the first to admit the credit ratings themselves suffer from certain credibility issues. During the financial crisis, a number of the collapsed entities had some of the highest ratings, right? So naturally, these agencies are going to be more conservative. So what it means for the government, persons who are prepared to lend to the government or invest in the country and to the government or in public-private partnerships, they look at this rating as a guide to say, well, what is the chances or what are the chances of me being paid back? So ultimately, persons are willing to lend and take greater risk, but it comes at a greater cost. We borrowed US dollars in November 2018 at about 5.5%. That's probably going to see an increase above 6% or even 6.5%, 7%, simply because our credit worthiness has been seen as reduced.
Now, Bowe says while it was not unfair for Moody's to downgrade us as we fight COVID-19, he remains hopeful that a document for a more comprehensive national development plan is established to strategize and look at managing debt, defining our economic future, and social factors.
If we know that we owe money to persons and we fail to pay them back, we don't know their circumstances. So when you think about whether it's borrowing from a family member, if you fail to pay them back, right, is it fair because it's a pandemic not to pay them back? Because when you borrowed it, it wasn't a pandemic. And so all of us are going to go through pain. So the short answer is no. Was it unfair of Moody's? No. They have a job to do. There are investors and lenders who are looking for their ratings to make a judgment on the Bahamas. Their credibility is on the line to say that they've looked at the fundamentals, and all they've done is give their, what I'm going to hope is an objective assessment.